when I look at the larger CSR canvas there now, and when you look at India of 2025, there are a few realities that we all need to be very, I'll say, we all need to be aware of. One is that today in India, due to various reasons, good, bad, ugly, whatever it is, you have 3-4 major instruments available for funding. One which was a very, I'll say, lucrative one once upon a time, FCRA is dying, and we should start writing Shraddhanjali iske upar mein, because due to various reasons we realize that this is not working for us. And very legit reasons. When India is saying that I have become the 5th economy, you can't go to the 8th economy to say that mujhe paise do. People will say that, hey bhaiya, you have become the 5th economy, now you should be giving us money there. So that's very legit reason. Second is that somewhere we took it for granted there. I still remember many of the NGOs going to all the public forum and saying that, "Arey batao, inne 20% admin cost kar diya." And like 20% kar diya and you are having a heart attack there, because earlier it was koi limit nahi tha. And us karan se I have seen many people traveling first class, business class bhi nahi, first class in going to several places there. I have seen more Mac and more iPhone in NGO sector rather than in CSR field there. I still find that particular thing, and that sometimes surprises me. I'm like, पैसे कहाँ से आते हैं? Then फिर मुझे पता चला कि नहीं, वो 50% से ज़्यादा भी admin में हम खर्च कर सकते थे. But that's not the case that I'm standing here. So today you have 3 key instruments available for all of us to raise money. One is the HNI, people who earn 5 CR plus, and there are number of them in India, who are donating for causes, and we can certainly reach out to them, and we are reaching out to them to raise money there. The second being the retail one, jahan pe you reach out to people to say that, hey, this is a cause that I'm running and can you fund it? Though people will have a adverse comment on it saying that conversion of retail into making him or her donor costs you around 30 to 40% fund there. But my take always is that you get that individual by making him contribute every year, so which roughly means that second year the contribution comes free of cost to you. So it's free for in all possible sense there. And the third instrument available to all of us is CSR. Size of all 3 is roughly around 30,000 crore there. Roughly 5 crore plus, 5 crore minus, 5,000 crore plus, 5,000 crore minus, you may have the scenario there. And in that particular context, it becomes very important to understand that who is growing faster than the others there. Retail is growing at around 5 to 6% there. HNI is growing around 6 to 7% there. The CSR is growing around 9 to 10% every year there. So that's and FCRA is coming down by 6 to 7% every year there. So CSR, the FCRA is around 10,000 crore still. And when I say FCRA, I'm including everything, UN, bilateral, multilateral, everyone there in that particular kitty there. So it becomes very important for all of us to understand how to tap CSR fund. That's one. And this, when I say how to tap CSR fund, I don't know how many CSR heads are sitting in this particular room. But it becomes very pertinent for all of us to understand that CSR head will not exist if you do not have good NGO partners. So you'll have to somewhere come out from jo upar wale kursi pe baithe hain hum log. We need to come down and sit together in the same place, treat all the NGO partners with equal sense of humility and dignity there, because if they don't do what they are doing, then March 31st को आपके पास दिखाने के लिए कुछ नहीं बचेगा. उनके पास में फिर भी दुकान दूसरी होगी, and they can reach out to somewhere else also, but you won't have anyone to show your face there, because 31st को आपका report card आता है. And that's the reason why many of the CSR heads won't be sitting here in this particular room today, because 27-28 is not a good time to host a seminar like this. This is something that you should be doing in the month of January के आसपास में. कुछ एक हम जैसे लोग आ जाते हैं जिनको वो दिसंबर में ही हमें पता होता है कि हमारा रिपोर्ट कार्ड क्या आने जा रहा है, पास करेंगे, फेल करेंगे, क्या कुछ होने जा रहा है. So that's one particular thing that CSR health needs to understand, that if you really want to shine, then you need to work with, and you need to work with right kind of NGOs there. And when you are working with right kind of NGOs, then you need to somewhere bring in the whole sense of humility there, and sense of whole sense of, I'll say, partnership there, which sometimes I find lacking there. क्योंकि कभी-कभी लगता है ना, हम पैसे दे रहे हैं तो हम बड़े हैं, और आप पैसे ले रहे हो तो आप छोटे हो. And that particular changes the whole, I'll say, relationship there. And that's the reason why I always hated. This is for all the organizers in subsequent round of introduction. You can always say that Anurag is now 29 plus years of experience in this particular field. And 29 saals I hate whenever people say grant, grantor, grantee, donor, donee. These are some terms that are, I'll say, insulting terms there. Because जैसे अपन कहते हैं ना कि 5 उंगलियां हैं, all 5 fingers have equal role to play. They have all 5 fingers have different roles to play, but they constitute the same hand that you are having there. Same is true with the larger ecosystem also. So there is someone who has to give, someone who has to take, someone need to implement, someone need to monitor, someone need to report. So all 5 becomes important there for you to really do a very, very constructive, productive, impactful CSR there. And that's the I'll say, introduction to what I wish to speak to all of you, that if you want to take up CSR or reach out to CSR or work as a CSR head or CSR team member there, then somewhere we need to start the whole relationship on a more equal footing rather than someone being on higher, someone being on lower there. Because जो हम कहते हैं कि हम समता मूलक समाज बनाने जा रहे हैं, तो आपके बीच में समता कहाँ चली गई? If we are trying to build a society based on equality there, then where is that equality missing? Why that particular equality is not there in the relationship that you are having with your immediate stakeholders there? That's one important part that we all need to understand there. Second, CSR is not a function that the CSR head should be maintaining there. I always say that in the larger scope of things there, and I'm saying this with utmost responsibility. CSR in all the companies, barring none, we are the lowest rung. आखिरी पायदान है हम, ठीक है? हमसे ऊपर सब कुछ है. एडमिन हो, HR हो, फिनांस हो, ऑडिट हो, लन, फन, देवानंद, जितने कुछ हैं, सब कुछ हैं हमारे ऊपर है. हम सबसे आखिरी में हैं. It all depends on how we use that particular moment to create stories for people to really celebrate there. बोलते हैं ना, चींटी होती है, चींटी has a role to play there. चींटी अगर हाथी के नाक में घुस गई तो हाथी परेशान हो सकता है. It all depends on how you play around your role there. And that's where I always say that when you are doing the CSR there, sometimes you need to understand that why you exist there. You are not a social developer or social development professional there. You are a CSR professional there, which has a word called corporate there, which roughly means that you need to align yourself with the corporate strategies there. You can't work in isolation there. अब इसमें वो एकला चलो रे नहीं चलेगा. रविन्द्रनाथ टैगोर बोल के गए थे किसी और कॉन्टेक्स्ट में, यहाँ पर मत लेके आइए आप इसको. You need to ensure that your corporate leaders are involved in what you are doing there. अगर Siemens is doing certain things, you need to, and they are bringing in all those engineers and all those leaders there involved in the work that's happening there. Primarily because if there is no mind and the leadership there, no, you won't be able to get the right kind of support there. क्योंकि आप सबसे नीचे हैं, सब आप पर चलते हुए निकल जाएंगे. You need to tell them that how good this is for you. When you go to the larger society, how this will make you look good, how this will make corporate look good, how this will make you personally look good, how this will make your company a bit different from the other companies there, how this will help in you hiring right kind of talent there, how this will make sure that your investors are more interested to fund you. And this you can do by making your company look good. And how you look good, you can't do savere mein utke, you can't open that. Being a male, I won't be able to call all those makeup kit के डब्बे में जो सामान होता है. I can't use those things on my body to look good. CSR in number of ways makes you organically look good there. CSR makes you more humane there. CSR makes you look more rooted there. CSR makes you more humble there. And the moment any company which looks more humble, at the same time having strength and being humble there, that's something that everyone look forward to. कल की तारीख के अंदर में all the Gen Z community that we all call them, they have multiple options there. So they have to decide X and Y. Salary सबके बराबर हैं, facilities सबके बराबर हैं. The only thing which is going to differentiate me from joining X rather than Y is that how rooted they are, what kind of work that they are doing in the community there. And that's the moment you start portraying that along with your business leaders, you create a business case for the larger business to support you there. These are the messages that I'm giving to CSR head. I don't know how many of you are sitting in this particular room. So you need to link it with the larger business. For example, at Capgemini, we are in the whole business of bringing in transformation to the client community there. And if I am, and the digital become the key enabler for us to bring in that particular transformation there. So if I am not talking digital in my CSI strategy, I am not going to get the right kind of talent to support me there. कितने स्कूलों को पेंट करेंगे हम, कितने सालों तक पेंट करेंगे हम, कितने स्कूलों में स्टेशनरी बांटेंगे हम, कितने स्कूलों में क्लासेस चलाएंगे हम. A manager who has spent 18 years of her career in that particular line, if you ask her to go and teach a primary school, she may not be really interested in doing that. But the same manager, if I give her a job saying that, hey, you are a HR or you are a engineer there, why don't you create a solution for the larger community there that I'm working with? She'll get interested, because that's what we are trying then to do, is to create her passion with the larger purpose there. At the moment passion and purpose get combined there, CSR becomes a very lively subject that is discussed and debated at the corporate level there. For the NGOs, don't reach out to any CSR head saying that आप बताइए सर क्या काम कर रहे हैं, हम लोग वही काम करेंगे. इसलिए जो तुमको पसंद वही बात करेंगे. स्टॉप डूइंग दैट पर्टिकुलर थिंग. ये वो हमारे आपके मतलब आपकी प्यार मोहब्बत की कहानियाँ नहीं हो रही हैं कि आप दो कदम आधी रोटी आप खाएंगे आधी रोटी हम खाएंगे, उसमें ज़िंदगी गुजर जाएगी. It's about you have a dream there. That's the reason why you started an NGO there. You had a dream which was all about gender, which was all about forestation, which was all about HIV, which was all about education, which was all about livelihood, that which forced you to start an entity of your own there. So go to the CSR head with your own dream there. If they buy your dream, well and good. If they don't, there are others. जो हिंदी में बोलते हैं तू नहीं तो कोई और सही, कोई और नहीं तो कोई और सही. तो अगर आप तैयार है अच्छी बात है, अगर आप तैयार नहीं तो किसी और के पास जाएंगे, किसी और नहीं किसी और के पास में जाएंगे. And my journey will continue there. But don't stop there, because the moment you compromise there, you won't get the courage to look yourself in the mirror. क्योंकि आपकी शुरुआती कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ वहाँ से चालू हो गए तो कल वो आपसे 10% भी मांग सकता है, कल आपसे कुछ और भी मांग सकता है. तो फिर ना बोलना आपको बहुत मुश्किल होगा, क्योंकि आप वो काम कर रहे हैं जो आपका दिल आपको नहीं बोल रहा था करने के लिए. दिस इज नॉट समथिंग दैट यू रियली साइंड अप फॉर. यू साइंड अप सेइंग दैट आई एम कमिंग टू द सेक्टर टू चेंज सर्टन थिंग्स देयर. So stick to what you have decided there. Within that particular thematic focus area, you may change, your strategy may change. सपने बदलते नहीं हैं, सपनों का आकार बदलता है, कलर बदलता है, कैरेक्टर बदलता है. Don't change your dreams बहुत frequently there, because if you start changing your dream very frequently there, you won't be consistent with the whole idea, which in number of ways forced you to do what you are doing today. That's one. Second is, ज़माना बदल चुका है. नो मोर ऑफ वो जो सोशोलॉजी हिस्ट्री में अपन जो पन्ने भरा करते थे ना, कि एक शीट और देना सर और 2 शीट और देना सर, और कम से कम 4 या 5 शीट लगा के आंसर शीट को भर के अपन पेपर जमा करते थे, वो ज़माना गुजर गया. Proposals these days, people are asking to submit in 5 slides or 4 slides there. So they are really not interested in reading all your 80-page document there, which talks about problem statement क्या है, देश गरीबों का है, इस देश के अंदर में 80% लोग गरीब हैं, बेसहारा हैं, दुखी हैं, दलित हैं, पीड़ित हैं. They are aware of all these things. दे कम आउट फ्रॉम दैट पर्टिकुलर रैंक ओनली, उनको समझ है, उनको समझ नहीं है तो उनको CSR पद से हटवा दो, ठीक है। रीच आउट टू देम सेइंग दैट यू आर अवेयर ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम, this is the 1 or 2 liner about the problem statement, and this is what I wish to do, and this, the action of mine will lead to this kind of change there. If you are clear about it, when you write your love letter also, you don't write 5 pages, no. 2 paragraph के अंदर दिल की बात कहते हैं. Why you need 80 pages to write your proposals there? सीधा सरल बुलेट पॉइंट के अंदर में अपनी बात को कहें, अगला will understand that particular thing, and the moment they understand that particular thing, they'll support you. Third is, which is very important, and this is off the record, कोई रिकॉर्ड भी करा तो बंद कर देना इसको, यूज़ मत करना, मेरा नाम मत लेना, मैं बोलूँगा मुझे ये डीप फेक से बनाया गया है ये. Largely, what we are missing out today is we don't build relationships. We don't meet people very often. We are like, बहुत दूर मेरा घर है, मैं थाने में रहता हूँ, तुम्हारा घर परेल में है, I can't come, it's too far. उसका नतीजा क्या होता है ना कि when you don't build relationship there, तो फिर आपकी कोई मदद नहीं करेगा. We reach out to our friends also जब अपनी ज़रूरत होती है तब. दोस्त याद है मैं तुम्हारे साथ में 10th में पढ़ता था, और then you are waiting कि अगला काम बताओ तुम. Because you have not called me up for the last 20 years, now suddenly you are calling me up, which means that there must be some work that you want me to do. ठीक है. तो उस समय कई बार अपन जब when we reach out to, when we submit proposals there, जो cold proposals अपन भेजते नहीं है कि चलो 25 को भेज देते हैं. I also get number of proposals जहाँ पे लिखा होता है dear CSR head Cisco, dear CSR head IBM, and I know कि इनने 25 जगह भेजा है and without correction करके भेजा है, and you don't do anything, you just do control del दबाते हो, ख़त्म करते हो कहानी कि चलो जब तुम्हें उतनी भी मतलब तुम्हारे पास उतना भी समय नहीं है कि एक बार मेल चेक कर लो कि किसको भेज रहे हो तुम, तो यू डू, दैट्स द काइंड ऑफ रिस्पेक्ट दैट आई विल गिव इट टू यू. मैं वो आदमी हूँ जब मुझे ऑनलाइन आप शादी का कार्ड भेजते हो ना तो मैं ऑनलाइन शगुन में भेजता हूँ. आई एम दैट काइंड ऑफ बिरादरी देयर. सो मैं हमेशा लोग कहता हूँ कि बिल्ड रिलेशनशिप देयर. फर्स्ट मीट पीपल, invite people to the project that you are doing, show them what you are doing, tell them that this is what you have created, make them part of the larger journey that you are having, and then बहुत subtle तरीके से उनको proposal दो कि सर अब इतना कर चुके हैं, अब थोड़ा सा और आगे करना चाहते हैं, if you can partner in this will become better. That individual has seen the work that you are doing. That individual has experienced the change that you have brought in there. So you don't have to really build a case saying that how effective you are, because you have gone there. उनके आपने चाय पी थी, उनने आपको काम दिखाया था, आपने सारा कुछ बताया था. तो you don't have to build your case anymore there. तो large area में the decision regarding whom to support happens in or happens outside the offices rather than offices there. Or outside email boxes rather than within the email boxes there. We sometimes feel कि अरे proposal भेजे तभी हुआ. नहीं, it doesn't happen that way. The dunya has changed, the dunyadari has also changed there. So dunyadari has become much more informal there, and you need to somewhere understand that particular thing. Fourth is never compromise. Never ever compromise. And I'm aware of the CSR is becoming any other industry there where people have started demanding things there. If ever you find anyone demanding anything from your side, one, do not succumb to that. Second, inform others also. इस सेक्टर के अंदर में बाकी सेक्टर जैसे भी कई लोग आ चुके हैं जो कि आ चुके हैं. And you have to accept, वो हैं. And unfortunately कभी कभी बड़े जगह चले जाते हैं. And sometimes you'll have to say कि नहीं होता है तो मेरे से नहीं होगा, because you came in this particular sector. अगर सिर्फ पैसे कमाने थे तो पान की दुकान खोल लेते, अच्छा कमाते. You started this particular work and you started because you wanted to do something good. And मैं हमेशा आप लोगों को बोलता हूँ कि when they ask me why you joined in this particular sector, why didn't you pick up anything else, मेरा हमेशा कहना था मैं रात की नींद अच्छी सोना चाहता हूँ. और दूसरा है मेरा कि मैं निगाह से निगाह में मिला के बात करना चाहता हूँ कि आँख झुका के किसी से बात नहीं करना पड़े, एंड आँख झुकाना आपको हर समय पड़ जाएगा द मोमेंट यू विल कॉम्प्रोमाइज़। द मोमेंट आपने एक के साथ में कुछ आपने यू कॉम्प्रोमाइज वंस, ही और शी विल ऑलवेज हैव अपर हैंड देयर। और मैं किसी को ये मौका तो देता नहीं कि आपका अपर हैंड मेरे ऊपर में हो। अपर हैंड वो आ ही जाएगा अगर द मोमेंट यू कॉम्प्रोमाइज देयर। तो फोर्थ रूल दैट आई विल गिव इट टू ऑल ऑफ यू देयर, डू नॉट, एंड CSR है, आई टेल यू, आपको लग रहा है कि आपको कोई नहीं देख रहा है, लेकिन आपको कोई ना कोई ज़रूर देख रहा है, तो स्टॉप डूइंग व्हाट यू आर डूइंग। क्योंकि आई ऑलवेज से दैट ये this is not my money, but I am just the custodian of poor people's money there. I am the trustee of poor people's money which is meant for poor. अगर उसके अंदर में मैंने थोड़ी बहुत इधर उधर फूल चुल कर डाली, it will come back to me, and I have seen many people. मैं यहाँ पर बड़े मजबूती के साथ खड़ा होकर ये सब चीज़ें कह पाता हूँ इस कारण से, क्योंकि मुझे वो पता है कि पैसा मेरा नहीं है, तो और मुझे ये भी पता है कि जिस चेयर पर मैं बैठा हूँ वो चेयर बड़ी टेम्परेरी है। कल हो सकता है कि मैं आपके साइड में बैठ जाऊँ, कल हो सकता है मेरी भी NGO हो, तो एटलीस्ट वो गुरूर जो आज मेरे अपने काम के ऊपर में, वो गुरूर तो मेरे साथ होना चाहिए ना। तो कल वो गुरूर कहाँ से आप लाएंगे? द मोमेंट यू हैव कॉम्प्रोमाइज वंस। फिफ्थ रूल दैट I'll शेयर विथ ऑल ऑफ यू इज दैट व्हेन यू बिकम बिग, बड़ी NGO हो जाते हो आप, ऑलवेज अंडरस्टैंड दैट you started as a small. Support the smaller ones. Encourage them, facilitate them, because the moment you start supporting them in this particular journey, you create more allies there rather than दुश्मन there. और ये जो आगे वाला CSR की जर्नी है, that CSR की जर्नी is going to be big is beautiful there rather than small is beautiful, जो हम लोगों को पढ़ाया गया था। When big is beautiful बनने जा रहा है, तो you'll require alliances, you'll require partners there, you'll require people who will support you at the grassroots there, and that's where you need to support those smaller NGOs there, because that's what you were once upon a time when you started your journey there. और इस जगह के अंदर में वो जो बोलते हैं ना कि समय बदलते देर नहीं लगती है, तो मैंने कई बड़ों को छोटा होते देखा है, मैंने कई छोटों को बड़ा होते देखा है 28-29 सालों के अंदर में। तो माई एडवाइस टू ऑल ऑफ यू विल बी दैट when you become big also, जब आपके खाते में 20, 25, 30 करोड़ रुपए फंडिंग के आने लग जाए, तब भी समझना कि आपने जब 10 लाख से शुरू करी थी तो कैसा शुरू किया था, और जो 10 लाख वाले लोग हैं उनकी भी उतनी ही ऐसे गरिमा है जितनी गरिमा आपकी है। ठीक है, अब मैं तीसरे पॉइंट पे आता हूँ, क्योंकि मुझे आई आस्क हर कि गिव मी द पॉइंट दैट आई शुड कवर। One of the point which I gently touched and then move out and started talking about NGOs and corporate CSR heads. In the larger CSR journey, you will have to also understand that there are multiple stakeholders who are very organically linked to the work that you are doing, and they are, for example, marketing and communication, branding, HR. Some of the business units, they are very organically linked to who you are in that particular sense there, because आप कई बार कई corporates के लिए कोई stories नहीं होती है. If they are not listed there, but big companies there, they don't have those quarterly results नहीं आते हैं जहाँ पे you can flash it in the media saying that इस तिमाही का growth is 8% there and the markup is, और इतना लाभ कमाया and इतना डिविडेंड हमने दिया. तो you don't have any positive stories to talk about there. The only positive story that you can talk about is how many lives that you have impacted through your CSR. So if you have that particular tool available there, partner with them. And the moment marketing and branding is in your side now, you can change things within the larger corporate body के अंदर, क्योंकि सबको सुंदर दिखना होता है. इस दुनिया में कोई भी इंसान नहीं होगा जो बोलेगा कि मुझे आप प्रेज करो, मुझे बुरा लगता है. There is no one in this particular world. No one in this particular world who will say that don't call me beautiful. No one in this particular world who will say that don't call me smart. There is no one in this particular world who will say कि मुझे बेवकूफ़ बोलो. है कोई? No one. Similarly, corporate also, everyone wants to look good. And to look good का job is marketing and branding का काम है. वो सैलो चलाते हैं companies के लिए. That's the job that they do. उनको मेकअप करने का काम होता है. That's the spin the story. They बहुत ब्यूटीफुल तरीके से स्टोरी सुनाते हैं, जो अपन बच्चों को सुनाते हैं नहीं, और चेता आया और फिर वो खा गया. That's how they narrate their stories, and the kid within us gets excited. And the moment you make them alive to the work that you are doing, your CSR becomes very beautiful there. Suddenly I realized when I was doing the CSR that जो कुछ एक बच्चियों के लाइफ को we tried changing it, transforming it, that started looking so beautiful there. And that happened because you brought in those beautiful elements of narrating your story in a beautiful manner there. And that brings me to the other topic that within CSR we fail to sometimes do a proper storytelling there. अपन बहुत बोरिंग तरीके से बताते हैं कि हमने हमारे 6 इंडिकेटर थे, 6 इंडिकेटर के अंदर में नंबर ऑफ पीपल रीच्ड X, नंबर ऑफ पीपल इम्पैक्टेड Y, नंबर ऑफ पीपल लाइफ चेंज X. We don't bring in excitement to people to really understand what X really means. We don't tell them how the involvement and engagement of my larger volunteering base has created a beautiful impact at the community level there. And I'll give you one example there, which has changed me in so many ways. And I've always quoted this. This was 2019 in month of November. I was traveling to a city called Salem. All of you have heard this name, Salem? This is one city in the southern part of India, part of Tamil Nadu there. Tamil Nadu these days is, for various obvious reasons, it's in news these days. And we work with, in that particular place, with girls coming from HIV identity. I was interacting with a group of girls there. So like any adult, when you meet a child, one of the questions that you will always ask is, "Bade hoke kya banoge?" And ask her that, what do you want to be when you grow up there? And she blinked her eyes. She said, "I want to be a doctor." And the second question was, "Why you want to be a doctor?" She's a HIV positive girl, okay? Then she was HIV. Now she is full-blown AIDS now. And she answered me saying that I want to be a doctor so that I can invent one vaccine so that none of the child go through what I've gone through. Imagine a 9-year-old girl with HIV not talking about inventing one medicine there so that she can get cured. She was talking about inventing one vaccine that none of the other child go through. That for me was she became my North Star. कि अगर लाइफ में कुछ चाहिए तो ये बनो यार. अपने लिए तो सारी दुनिया सोचती है. She is thinking about others there, in spite of where she is. And that in number of ways will have to change our outlook of work when we are doing CSR or any grassroots implementation, where you're not looking at how this is going to change the character of the organization that I represent, but how this is going to change the character of or the lives of people with whom I'm working with. The moment you change the narrative there, somewhere you will have people standing outside your office gate to fund you. This is the mantra that I'll give it to you. The moment you start your narrative where you say that मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि मैं 2 रूम के ऑफिस में भी काम चला रहा हूँ. I am okay driving a Maruti Alto also. मुझे फील्ड में लेके चली जाती है वो. But the quality of implementation that I am bringing to the community is state of the art there. The quality of community facilities that I have created is much better than my offices there. The moment you do that, you'll have many donors who will be standing outside your office to say that MOU kab sign kare sir. Suddenly you calling them sir, they'll start calling you sir or madam or whatever gender that you belong to. They start calling you by that particular name there. Another element which is very important when you are doing CSR or any social development work, कम्युनिटी आपका मेन श्रृंगार है. श्रृंगार समझते हैं सब लोग? Everyone understand? They are your main element of your life. Don't say that you work for them. Start calling it or start saying you work with them. Because if they are not there, आपके सारे श्रृंगार तहस नहस है, खत्म है. अब you don't exist anymore there. The moment उनने मुंह मोड़ लिया आपकी तरफ से, you don't exist anymore there. So it's very important for us to place them at the center of anything and everything that we are doing, because without them, we don't exist there. And that's same is true with the CSR heads also. We may be talking in all these forums saying that I am the speaker, hence you treat me with huge amount of respect there. But my point is always very clear that if I don't have communities there, if I don't have right kind of NGOs with me, Anurag is nothing. Anurag is a balloon, जिसको कभी भी आप फोड़ सकते हो. But if I have all these along with me, then balloon is filled with cement there. So आप फोड़ नहीं पाओगे. बलून दिखेगा, उसको कभी भी जितना भी पिन मारोगे, छेद भी आपको नहीं दिखेगे. That's very important there. Man, let me see if I missed out anything else which I should have shared with all of you. Or let me ask you if you have any question there, then it becomes much more. Do I have some more minutes left there?
Do we have any questions?
सिर्फ क्वेश्चन पूछना, आंसर नहीं दूंगा मैं क्योंकि सवाल नहीं. Anyone? लंच ज़्यादा हेवी था, इस कारण से मना किया था. Just have business lunch. Don't give too much of paneer and all there.
So, sir, we should maybe go ahead with the next session.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
No, आखिरी पॉइंट बचा हुआ है, ऐसे कैसे छोड़ दूंगा? You have 2 मिनट बचा है, 2 मिनट I'll use it. मैं आखिरी पैसे तक खर्च करता हूँ मैं. Another element is that link all the CSR head, link whatever you're doing with larger business strategy. Don't leave it saying that मैं अलग करेगा, business अलग करेगा. The moment you do it अलग रास्ते, they अलग रास्ता. Parallel road will never meet there. You'll have to create convergence with your business there that will allow the larger business to support you there. I always tell them that कल की तारीख में अगर 2% बंद हो गया, whether you will be able to continue. But if you have linked it very organically with the business there, no? For example, all my employability training, education is linked with something that business is doing. कल में अगर 2% आपने वापस भी ले लिया ना, मुझे इतना श्योर है कि 1% तो जरूर मैं वापस लेकर आ जाऊंगा बिजनेस से, because they are hugely invested in what we are trying to do. Do that particular thing. Focus on core values of yours. Create something which is unique of yours. Don't be something that others are. Don't try to ape what others are doing. Create your own identity there. Be visible there. Be vocal there. Talk about your own mind there, irrespective of whether funding milti hai nahi milti hai. You'll succeed. Thank you. Now you can have the session.
Thank you so much for your wonderful insights, sir.